Moms and dads all know the joys of parenthood, but millions are finding the joys of grandparenthood. You see, it's a growing trend across the country, including right here in Connecticut. In fact, several years ago, Hartford created a commission designed to specifically address the issue. NBC Connecticut's Seth Lemon has the story new at 5:30.
I get up in the morning, do their breakfast, but I never get the time to sit down.
Jenny Cologne is like any other parent. With 3 children, she's got a sink full of dishes, and her hands are just as full.
You have to leave a lot to give them a lot.
But as young as she may look, she's a grandmother, raising 3 grandchildren, and says she's made big sacrifices to do that, losing her job and a home. But thanks to CRT Generations in Hartford providing affordable housing specifically for grandparents with custody of grandchildren, she found a new home.
They chose to sacrifice themselves for the life of others.
Carmen Stanford has been the program's director since it started in 2006, and her work at CRT recently garnered her a nomination for a spot on the city's commission that tackles the issue.
When I see what these women and these grandparents, grandfathers go through just to make sure there's food on the table, just to make sure there's a roof over their heads, they didn't have to do this.
Looking at these photos of grandchildren and grandparents who first benefited from this program, I'm reminded of my own experience being raised by my grandmother. It's a situation that U.S. Census data says is becoming increasingly more common. In fact, that data shows 7 million grandparents are raising their grandchildren nationwide. That's 10% of all U.S. children. And here in Connecticut, with roughly 6% of kids being raised by grandparents, that number's quickly approaching the national average. Officials here in Hartford say the trend is due to a number of circumstances, including younger parents, legal challenges, and even health issues.
Now grandparents have to step up to keep the family together.
But Jenny Cologne says she has no regrets, and raising her 3 grandchildren has kept her young.
But you know what? When I sit down and look back, I'm grateful that I raised them.
In Hartford, Seth Lemon, NBC Connecticut News.
The winter